Julia, the money's gone. What money? In a sheepish tone, Mom explains, we used the 68 grand you left with us to help your brother buy a house for his upcoming wedding. At that moment, dread swallows me whole. Just last week, I left my hard-earned savings with my parents to keep it from being discovered by my abusive husband. But now, I choke up, and my voice trembles as I speak. Mom, that is the only money I have for myself after the divorce. My father scolds me from the side. Why are you getting a divorce in the first place? I shoot back. You know he has been hitting me. If I don't leave him, he will beat me to death. Dad slams the table angrily. All women put up with stuff like that just fine. If your brother can't get married, it will be the end of our lineage. That's the more pressing problem. I look at them, my blood running cold. Take that 68 grand as my final payment to you for raising me. We'll cut ties right here and now. In the future, don't ever come to me and ask me to support you when you grow old. By the time I got back to that so-called home, it was already dark outside. The sound of the key sliding into the lock made my palms go cold. When I pushed the door open, my husband, Carl Blackburn, was on the couch drinking. The TV was blaring loudly enough to shake the room. Where the hell have you been? He asked without even turning around. Without answering, I headed straight for the bedroom. Stop right there. The thud of the beer bottle hitting the coffee table made me flinch. He staggered to his feet. Where's the 68 grand? Hand it over. My chest tightened. So he knew. It's gone. I heard my numb voice. My dad gave it to my brother to buy a house. Carl paused and finally looked at me with a derisive laugh. I don't care who you give it to. I just want the money. You hid it to divorce me, didn't you? As he stepped closer, the smell of alcohol and smoke hit my face. Go ahead. Divorce me if you want, but every cent of the money is mine. I clenched my empty pockets. Throughout these 5 years of marriage, I had secretly filed for divorce 10 times. 9 of those times, Carl found out, beat me nearly to death, and withdrew the divorce petition in my name. The only time a case actually reached court, it was dismissed due to insufficient evidence of domestic violence. I thought about calling the police, but I didn't dare. Carl said that if I called them, my naked pictures would be all over the streets. I was scared. 3 days later, my phone rang. Julia, I heard you're cutting ties with your family? It was my aunt, Lydia Palmer, the one who had always doted on me the most. Yeah. Oh, honey, don't say things in anger, Aunt Lydia said urgently. Your parents just weren't thinking straight. Lionel's wedding is indeed a big deal. Aunt Lydia, I interrupted her and switched to a video call. Look at my arm. I saw her gasp on the other end. What happened? He did this, I said, dropping my sleeve. The bruise on my collarbone from the last time you saw me hasn't even healed yet, and now I have a new one. Oh my god. Aunt Lydia's voice trembled. But Lionel was 60 grand short on his house, so dad gave him all the savings I'd been keeping for my divorce, I said numbly while leaning against the cold wall. But Lionel's your brother. Aunt Lydia, I cut her off, my voice cracking. I've been married for 5 years, earning 6 grand a month, and I've been getting beaten for those 5 whole years. I know you've suffered. I saved up the 68 grand for a long time, just so I could divorce Carl. I stared at the stains on the concrete wall. Now, the money's gone and I can't buy my way out. The other end of the line went silent. Last week, I told dad that if I don't divorce Carl, I might die out there. Guess what he said? Aunt Lydia tried to calm me down. He was just angry. Julia, he said, if you're going to die, die in Carl's house. I forced a smile, but it pulled at the wound, making me gasp in pain. Aunt Lydia sighed. Your dad's just worried that Lionel can't find. I get it. I interrupted her. So I need them to understand something too. From now on, my life has nothing to do with them anymore. That night, Carl kicked me out of the house again just because the food was too salty. I curled up on the cold stairs in the hallway, listening to him rant inside, tearing the place apart, and accusing me of hiding more money. I knew that if I didn't leave now, the next time he beat me unconscious, I might not wake up. The next morning, I went to the pawn shop in the southern part of the city. I reached into my inner pocket and pulled out a small cloth pouch. Inside was an emerald ring Grandma had secretly slipped to me before she passed away. I'd like to pawn this. I slid the ring through the glass window. The appraiser gave me a quote. It was much lower than I expected, but I didn't hesitate.